give thanks unto the Lord. How are you today? We're so delighted to have you in our midst, and we're so delighted to be in your presence. Welcome to the Spice of Life variety show. We trust that you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and know that Jesus makes the difference, will make the difference in your life. We bring you greetings from the West Angeles Church of God in Christ, where Bishop Charles C. Blake and Mrs. May L. Blake are our leaders. We bid you greetings and love. We encourage you to grab a pen, a piece of paper, copy down our contact information at the end. Our email address, our telephone number, fax number will be revealed and shown, and we encourage you to communicate with us. Your prayer requests, comments, just communicate with us. Thank you for tuning in. We have an interesting show. Well, on the Spice of Life, if you watch for a while, you know that I have my darling co-host with me in the person of Mrs. Evangelist Pamela Webb. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dr. Lewis?
I'm doing nicely. I like that yellow and black.
I bring the sunshine.
Oh, girl, yes, honey.
You.
Yes, you did, honey.
Are you agreeing with me?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm flowing.
You know what our show is about? Resolving conflict.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Now, I can say that the glass is half empty. You can say that the glass is
half full.
No, it's half empty.
No, it's half full.
No. I think we need some help.
I think we do. Okay, because we're not agreeing. Okay,
no, we're not.
All right, then. So let's just move on and introduce our guest.
Yes,
help us, please.
We will.
Okay. Now, first of all, to our left here, we have Mrs. Avis Ridley Thomas, who is skilled and will help us in our half full, half empty challenge here. Okay, Avis Ridley Thomas, welcome so much, and we're going to come back and just sort of tell us where you work and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I work at the Los Angeles City Attorney's Dispute Resolution Program.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have Mrs. Beverly Matthews. Beverly Matthews, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and from whence comes thou?
I come about from West Angeles Community Mediation Center, which is one of the departments of West Angeles Community Development Corporation.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And Mrs. Yvonne Harrison.
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you hail from?
I hail from West Angeles Community Development Corporation, and I'm the director of the West Angeles Community Mediation Center.
Oh, thank you, three ladies, for being here, because as you see, we need you, okay? We really, really, really need you. Now, I know that you've associated yourselves with the various dispute resolution units and divisions and all of that. Let me ask you this, how long have your involvement in experience, because we want to make sure you're experienced enough to help us here.
That's right,
because we
have an issue right here.
Exactly.
We see the issue.
So how much experience have you had in your areas?
Well, I established the Dispute Resolution Program in 1989 in the Office of the City Attorney.
Okay.
So I've been there a good little while.
Oh, yeah. You can help us then. Very good. Very good. 1989, that's a long time. And you birthed that, you developed that.
Well, it had been my position alone in the City Attorney's Office, if you can imagine that, for the City of Los Angeles.
That's right.
Prior to that time, I was the city's consumer advocate. There was only one such position.
Wow.
So I needed some help.
Right. Being one person,
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly.
That I was able to see opportunities and take advantage of them to develop the dispute resolution program.
And that program has gone from 1 to about how many?
1,500 community volunteers.
Oh my goodness, 1,500.
And we have 5 full-time staff people.
5 full-time staff.
Serve our volunteers.
And that came all from you.
Well,
from one person.
I really feel honored to have been in the position to take advantage of the opportunities. It's a wonderful position to be in, and I sincerely enjoy my work.
That's great.
Good.
That's awesome. Beverly, what about you? How long?
I received training in mediation summer of '99. Prior to that, undergraduate degree in psychology and crisis intervention and domestic violence. So everything was related, and I volunteered with LAUSD for over 18 years as a parent. So I've always loved working with students, and we primarily, half of our job is on the school campus from kindergarten through 12th grade, and also dealing with staff and parents.
Oh, okay, very good. All righty. And what about you, Ms. Harrison?
Well, we opened up the center in fall of 1998. And I was one of the first employees with the former director. I started off as a part-time coordinator. So there were 2 of us at the time, and we were mediating over 80 cases a month. and we're
my.
and we're in 3 schools. And today we have a staff of 3 full-time employees, 2 interns, and over 300 volunteers that have been trained.
Because we know that really and truly conflict resolution is a reality that we all,
yes.
you know, the best to the worst to the best.
That's right.
We'll have conflicts, and so we do need resolution tips and assistance in that regard. So thank you for
thank you.
specializing in this area, because it really is a help to all communities.
Oh, yes.
Because if we can get along, then the community is that much more impacted. Our families are impacted. Individually we're impacted.
There's a great need.
Yeah, a great need. And like you say, you are administering like about 80 cases per month. That's more than twice a day. You know, that's more than 2 per day.
Yes. Put in long hours.
Long hours, and we know
very long hours.
And weekends, you're probably not even counting. You know, weekends.
Yeah, not including those.
After hours.
Oh my goodness. Okay then. Well,
What type of cases can you give us? Some examples of what you
Every
mediate.
conceivable type of civil dispute.
I agree.
So family disputes, neighbor disputes, community disputes, organizational matters, every conceivable type of civil dispute that our mediators are trained to handle. And so we are fortunate to be able to deploy them as needed when people call in to receive our services.
is this 24 hours a day or?
Ours is not 24 hours.
Okay.
It's really the regular business day.
Okay.
We do some, handle some matters on weekends and
Crisis.
evenings. Yes, when people need the support that our mediators can provide. But we really do the regular business day. We are all parents.
And
we have lives. We have lives. So we do have to get on.
Okay. Now, for the city of Los Angeles, is that you only cover the city, or what's the
Well,
boundary?
we were fortunate in getting county funding, grant funding, to establish our program in '89, and we made an agreement with the county to serve the whole county of Los Angeles.
Wow.
So while we've done some research on it, about 80% of our clients are within the city.
Okay.
I'm just so glad we don't turn anybody away based on an address. you know.
Right.
And so, yeah, we feel fortunate in that respect.
Oh, okay. What it may, without disclosing what you shouldn't disclose, what has been probably a most memorable situation that you've had to resolve?
I know
dispute?
we work with a lot of conflicts on the school campuses, and what is really the most rewarding is seeing our students turn their lives around, where they have been instigators on campus, and now they're peer mediators. In our last training in a high school setting, we had an individual, I believe he was like 19, and he was incarcerated, but he needed to finish his high school diploma. So they allowed him to come back. But in order to come back, he had to maintain a C average, and he wanted to be a part of the peer mediation program.
Wow.
And in the past, he has gotten into a lot of trouble. And by the time we finished the training, he wanted to make sure that we were there for him if his teachers had any questions regarding him being out of class for the training. And he ended up being one of our star pupils.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, so we see the lives of the students transform through our peer mediation training on campus.
Because this is an area where not only are you beneficial to others, but you can use these skills for yourself.
Oh, yes, it's a life skill
life
that you can take with you.
You'll find you're using it within yourself, dealing with your own relationships, if you're married, your spouse, your kids, anybody you have contact with. So it empowers you to give you more self-confidence to deal with it and look at it, conflict as an opportunity for change.
Because frustration comes when I feel as though that I don't know how to handle the situation, or I'm losing the situation, or I don't know how to express myself, and so frustration come in, and then other things, other negative things come in. So like you said, it empowers us.
Right.
And what we're doing, what we're providing is anger management training. Beverly and I are certified anger management providers. And we found that when we were going into the schools and trying to teach the kids peer mediation, they were so angry. One particular girl, her brother got shot, and so we're trying to teach her how to be a peer mediator, and she's mad, and she wants to retaliate against this person that shot her brother. So what we're doing now, we're trying to approach conflict resolution differently, where we provide anger management training, get them in touch with their feelings. A lot of kids don't know that they're angry, and then provide peer mediation / conflict resolution as an intervention, so they can be able to resolve issues and help other peers resolve the issues.
Excellent.
Yeah, because the
That's a
kids
good
are so
combination,
angry.
It really is.
Right.
I'd say that our companion area of work is cultural diversity.
Oh, okay.
And so we train in that because we recruit people from all over the
yes.
place. And they handle all types of disputes. And you just don't know
Right.
what you're going to walk into.
That's
right.
So it's
Right.
essential for our
Right.
people to really understand the different cultural
Right.
approaches that
Oh,
people
yeah.
have
Right.
and
It's
have
imperative.
some comfort level in dealing with those varieties of approaches.
Do you have security or some type of assistance in that area when you go, when you or others go in to mediate? Because you never know, like you said, you never know what you're walking
Area,
into.
never know.
Right.
So when necessary, we can provide that in City Hall, and we have some actual police officers who are mediators, and so when the situation calls for somebody who is prepared, we handle that, But it's mostly not necessary.
No, it's
because
not.
You do
Yeah.
have to agree to participate
That's right.
in
It's
the
voluntary.
mediation process. It's entirely voluntary.
And we work with partners, like we also have police officers that went through our training of firefighters. So when we're on the campuses of the schools, and if it's a school that's known for having problems, they know we're coming,
Hotspot.
Oh.
and so we have the campus security there, and we feel very safe.
Yeah. We've never had any problems, and we make it very important that we establish relationships and feel comfortable. Kids, if they feel that you really care about them, that's no problem. And you get to know, by us doing staff development on campus, you get to know the parent representative, the principal, the probation officer, the kids, the ones that are natural born leaders that people don't recognize. So you're like a support for them. So we also refer them to the school psychologist, to West Angeles Counseling Center, depending on what their issues are. What are your barriers for not graduating? And we tie it into California state standards. So we go into life skills classes, incorporate on whatever the teacher's doing today. We can work in conflict resolution. So we do days of dialogue and partner with the city attorney's office. So we have one coming up on Saturday. So we utilize all the resources, because it should never be a conflict and conflict resolution professionals, because there's enough conflict to go around the world.
For everyone.
And so our job is to be a servant. Dr. Shepard at Tom Bradley told me your gift to mankind is what you do, giving back to somebody. Your job is what you get for it. And your paycheck is your job, is what you get for doing your job. But by you being here on this earth, you need to give back and help somebody else.
Okay. Well, help us out. What would be some suggested conflict resolution tips that we can use, we in the audience can use?
The basic skill that is far more important than anything, I think, that a person does in providing our service is listening.
There you go. There you go.
Listening.
There you go.
And so we get so far away from
That's
that,
right. That's right.
when we're having a problem. I would say the first thing to go when you're having a problem is your ability to just listen to the person.
Because I got to make my point.
Right.
There you go.
Excuse me, I got to make my. Okay, I know what you're saying, but
Right.
but
But
I haven't
listen.
even heard what you said, because I'm thinking I need to make my point.
But while you're talking, you can't hear the other person.
Right, you can't hear.
So I agree with Avis. You have to listen, communicate.
First thing that goes.
Right.
First thing that leads. And so we really focus on communication and listening, very specific skills, summarizing,
Right.
paraphrasing, encouraging, validating, and reinforcing what the person's saying to encourage them to say more. And then when they finish, you ask, is there anything else you have to
Right.
Because you're diffusing a person by letting them, validating how they feel and getting it out.
Right.
And by them realizing that you're paying attention to them and you really care about what they have to say, that takes care of a lot of the anger right there in itself.
Yeah, because one of the logs on the fire is to in a sense communicate what you're saying is crazy. It doesn't matter. you're so far off this planet that you don't even belong in that chair because
That's
you're
right.
so, and you really need to listen to me when I'm saying, because I have the experience, I know,
Right.
and that really destroys the relationship. So I think in listening, would it be appropriate then to say now, would you just tell me what I just said just to make sure
mirror back.
To summarize,
Yeah,
to repeat.
that's what that means.
To
summarize.
repeat.
And it works well when you have two people in conflict to summarize what the other person has to
Right.
say. So at least they're going to listen. You don't have to agree, but at least you listen so you can understand their point of view, and they can understand your point of view, and hopefully they come to a common ground.
Okay.
And the exercise that we use talking about I. We have exercises called personality traits. And you have a monk, a hero, a clown, and a rebel. And when you learn the 4 different personality traits, for example, I'm a rebel, a natural born leader. And like to get things done quickly. And those are the advantages, and the disadvantages of a rebel could be don't listen, spontaneous, and sometimes you make mistakes because you don't think things through. So when you learn the 4 different types of personality, then you can able to communicate with that person more effectively. For example, my husband's a monk. When I ask him a question, it takes him 10 minutes to give me an answer.
Oh, and I know you're dying.
I am dying. But now that I know he's a monk, I know he's not going to respond the way I want him to respond as a rebel. And I think that would help. And I mean, you don't want to put people in a box, but generally speaking, we have one of those traits, either the monk, rebel, hero, clown.
Okay. So define for us those.
Okay, the rebel's me, natural born leader.
and I.
That's
Okay.
advantage. You and I. Okay. Beverly's the hero, because I know Beverly. She's the type of person like to save the day, want to go out their way to really help a person, no matter what. She puts her desires last. A clown is a person who laughs all the time. They make light of the situation, and sometimes that's a good thing, especially when you're stressed. Or in a stressful situation, laughter kind of, ease things. And then, what's the 4th one? Rebel? The monk is a person that has to pray on things. They don't make rash decisions. They have to think. They're very methodical. So those are the 4 different types of personalities. So in our training, we have mediation training for the community. We go through these personality traits, because a lot of times when you're dealing with diverse personalities in the office, you wonder why this person doesn't respond, or this person's way up here flying off the rafters.
What is your problem?
Right.
Yeah.
Or this person's always laying their coat down to let someone step over it, and then you can kind of understand how people tick.
And so both services are open to the public for
Yes.
this.
They
Yes.
are.
Okay.
At no charge.
At no charge. And so they would contact the city office.
The city attorney's
City attorney's
office,
office
yes.
for dispute resolution.
Right.
And of course they can contact West Angeles for the dispute resolution, because like you said, there's no charge here. So, and it's really a needful kind of situation.
Right.
What else? Anything else that we might can just take to resolve this half full, half empty kind of problem?
But don't attack your partner, okay?
Don't attack.
Don't attack her. If there's an issue,
You saved.
there's an exercise called an I message, and and basically you would say, I am upset when you borrowed $50 and you didn't pay me back because you need to pay me back, and I need you to do that right away. So there's a process. It's called an I message. I is the action. Oh, I is a feeling word. What is it? I is when I feel is a feeling word. When you is the action. Because you did something, and I need is the resolution to the problem. And when you start utilizing some of these active listening techniques, you can communicate better.
About how long would be a session?
Our typical training session takes 40 hours in the city attorney's dispute resolution program. It is lengthy, and then we do at this point 120 hours of supervised case handling, because we want people to know about the tremendous resources that are available and how to use them appropriately, to resolve all kinds of questions and issues and concerns.
So actually it would be 160, if you add the 40 to 120.
Right, which is just, if you want the certificate of completion under the California Dispute Resolution Programs Act, then that's what's required in our program.
Okay.
Now we, however, focus on community service, so we can't even use any money that anybody would want to pay to just have a certificate. we can't use that. We can only use your service to the community. And so that is our primary focus.
Oh, okay. Now, I know that you said when with the city 160 hours,
Right.
but if you were mediating between Pamela and myself, our typical session would be like an hour or?
That's usually 3 hours for us.
Oh.
Right.
On
Yeah.
average,
Not
about
an
3
hour.
hours.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
It's a process.
It is. It is, because let me just characterize it for you. We consider mediation an appropriate burial for things that had happened in the past and setting a course for the future. So that is a whole ritual. You know the burial
Right.
process. It is a ritual, and so it needs to be done to finish everything and every issue, all of your concerns about whatever did happen. And you can clean that up and now focus on the way that you wish to conduct yourself in the
Well,
future.
that's great. I mean, because normally they would scoot you out like in 15 minutes,
Right,
20 minutes.
yes.
But that's
Oh, no,
wonderful
no, no.
because you
It's
do
a
give us
process.
time.
Oh, yeah. It's a process.
Whatever time you need.
Okay, we're talking about in one sitting.
Right. And you may have to come back depending on the complexity of the problem. And, mediation is usually, 80 to 90% successful. But sometimes there's sessions that you just can't mediate, can't resolve. So you have two options. You can take a break and come back at another time, and by that time people have calmed down and thought about it. Or sometimes you just can't resolve it at all. Now at the center we offer a mediation training for the community. It's 30 hours. And then they have the option to come back to do some additional hours with us, or a lot of times we partner with other agencies where they can go and provide, get additional experience in mediation. And some of our services, they're not free, so.
Oh, okay, wow. Well, one thing about it, that's why we said to our audience to grab your pen and your paper, because we jot down our email address and email us, and we'll be happy to pass on your information to them. I think that the one greatest challenge to us is not to get the help that we need.
Right.
You know,
Yes, absolutely.
pride will keep us from
Oh,
reaching
yes.
out. Oh, I don't need, you can't help me. But really and truly, we are killing our own selves. And
That's
so
right.
if I need help in resolve dispute resolution, then we need help. Get the help.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't let pride
Right.
destroy you.
And 90% of our participants are women. For some odd reason, we're getting more men in our training, but I think more women are more communicative. They're more expressive. Men, I spoke to my husband, and it's that barrier. They don't want people to know their business, or they just don't know what mediation is about, or feel that they think they have to go to counseling, and is an infringement upon their personal space. So we're out trying to educate the community to let them know mediation is okay. It's confidential, it's private, it's voluntary, and they can come to us for help.
Is that your case in the city?
The case with us as well. I would say, however, that we have many more men who participate in terms
Really?
of the percentage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We do. I wouldn't say it's a very high percentage.
But
It's not
still.
50-50.
But
right.
still.
But it is.
At least we have some
yes.
there.
We do.
We have a couple.
We invite, and people are looking for all kinds of opportunities. One
Right.
of the wonderful things is that this area is growing so
Right.
much
Very
that
much so.
at a recent conference, I went to a workshop called the Vanishing Trial. So people are opting out of trial courts sometimes
Wow.
in huge numbers
Oh, yeah.
when they can,
Wow. Right.
not in criminal matters,
Right,
but I'm saying
exactly.
when they
I
have
guess
the
not.
option
Okay.
of doing that, they are opting out. And some trial courts are just dark a lot of the time.
Wow.
And so men are looking for opportunities to be mediators
Oh, yeah.
as well. And we train and we give them access to all of our resources to encourage them along in their own areas of interest.
That's
for the
great.
future.
Well, we're down to the last couple of moments of the show, and so I'm going to ask that you would just give maybe your final thought of information to us, beginning here. Avis
All
Ridley
right.
Thomas.
I'd like to encourage your viewers to take advantage of these services at the City Attorney's Dispute Resolution Program. We would love to hear from them. If they have a dispute, we would love to train them and have them a part of our roster of mediators. Our services are free, they're confidential, and they are voluntary.
Very good. Thank you. What about you, Beverly?
Hi. I want to encourage our schools, especially, to take care of the emotional intelligence. We know we need to take care of A through G, but if that emotional need is not taken care of, our kids can't learn, and that's our specialty. So we do contract with individual schools, and we love children. We're a parent as well, so we would love to hear from you.
Okay, all right. And what about you, Yvonne?
You know, violence is not an option, and it doesn't get you anywhere. So I just encourage the listeners today, if you have an issue, to either contact our center or AVIS. And there's help out there available. If you're looking for a career change, this is a wonderful career option to get in the field of conflict resolution. So I invite all to call both our agencies to get additional information.
Wow. Well, you know what, my dear sister, we can, okay, let's just resolve. The glass is, what did you say it was?
Well, to me, it's half full.
Okay, it's half full.
And then to you?
It's half full.
Oh, you wow, so you're just, that's so precious.
I want peace.
Side.
I want peace.
All
Wow,
right.
so if we can do this,
Then you can do this too. To you, our viewing audience, we want you to know that conflicts, that's a natural thing because we're going to disagree. But don't let the disagreement grow to the point to where it separates family, friends, loved ones, employees from employers, because we need that. And so get the help that you need. I promise you, we will, and we have. We love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, if you email us, we will be happy to pass on your emails to these wonderful, qualified individuals. And until next time, take care of yourself and know that we love you. Take care. God bless. It's just good to know that we can resolve our conflicts.
we can. And we can tell that you just enjoy your job. I mean, you could just feel it.